Buonasera Salvi, io ho una domanda per Diesel come produttore. Questa volta avete deciso di utilizzare un regista che è quello poi del terzo, invece di fare il cambio. Perché? E soprattutto visto che ognuno dei film precedenti aveva un'impronta molto marcata e differenziata. E poi mi è sembrato che il film sì è bello, però è un po' come le macchine al nitro, nei momenti va molto veloce e altri momenti si ferma un po'. È voluto oppure è un effetto che è uscito fuori così?
When they were doing Tokyo Drift, the studio asked me to do a cameo at the end of Tokyo Drift. And when my agents and managers said, no, you can't do the cameo, the studio came back and said, if you do the cameo, you can produce the next installment of this film. Justin Lin comes from independent filmmaking. Like me, he was in Sundance with more success, with Better Luck Tomorrow. He did Tokyo Drift and cut his teeth on shooting cars and shooting racing scenes and exploring the world. He was going, I think he was on tour when, with Tokyo Drift, when he realized the multicultural significance of this film. And he was ready to take the challenge to realize this version of the movie. I have great respect for Justin Lin. I think he's an incredible talent. I think we're only going to see more of his talent. And I was flattered that somebody that had already done Tokyo Drift would want to come back and try to knock this film out of the park. It was a very challenging time at the time we made this movie, because we were coming off of a writer's strike, one of the biggest writer's strikes ever in Hollywood. So during pre-production, we were not allowed the writing services that you are normally allowed during pre-production. And Justin Lin was there to come up to the house and to work on his own to kind of pick up the slack for that, for the fact that we had a writer's strike at the time. That's how that comes together. You believe in somebody, and as you can see from this movie, they shine. Part of being a producer on this movie is helping and assisting everybody and wanting everybody in the movie to be the best they can be. And like Michelle said, I think the way that you accomplish that is approaching the whole process with integrity.
Buongiorno, Pierpaolo Festa, Film.it. Volevo chiedere a Vin Diesel, negli anni '80 c'erano Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis. Oggi pensiamo soprattutto a lei come icona action e a Jason Statham, per esempio. Quali sono stati i suoi modelli di icona action e se vede i film con Jason Statham, cosa ne pensa? Giro la domanda anche a Michelle Rodriguez, dal momento che anche lei è un'eroina action. Grazie.
Well, we all loved Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. We all grew up on Stallone movies. Ironically, it was their stardom that created that title that you talk about, the action star. Prior to that, when we were just watching Elia Kazan movies and Marlon Brando movies and Gone with the Wind, these were all action movies in their day, but they were just called movies. They were called films. They didn't have that action film or action star label on it. So those are my heroes. I approach every role that I do, whether it's Dom Toretto or Jackie DiNorcio and find me guilty with the same conviction. One film calls for more action and one film calls for more prosthetics. But I approach each role the same, with the same commitment. And I hope that that translates in my work. I hope that you come to see this Fast and Furious and recognize that there's heart and integrity in it, and that we're not just relying on the explosions and the huge action set pieces, and that we are trying to make something more significant, and we're all trying to come in there without the labels of action heroes and so on and so forth. So to answer your question directly, my role models date further back than Arnold and Stallone, although they contributed to my desire to do big films. When we were growing up in New York, you never felt more empowered than leaving the theater after a good Stallone film or a good Arnold film. There was something exciting, there was something where you felt like you could take on the world. That element we try to bring into the films. When you see a Triple X or something, you come out of that film and you think you could save the planet.
And as far as I've gone in the industry, you know, I used to like all the James Cameron characters, you know, Alien, you know, Sigourney Weaver, Linda Hamilton. I still do respect and love, you know, actresses like Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts. Anybody who really didn't rip their clothes off, you know, in front of the camera, I really appreciated their work. You know, there's three kinds of women in my book that deserve massive amounts of respect. You have the Cleopatra, you know, who uses her charm to get where she wants to go. Doesn't necessarily have to have sex with you, but knows that she has a power as a woman and knows how to use it to get her way in life. And then you have the mother, you know, who understands unconditional love and nurturing, and is this beautiful creature who, you know, gives birth to love. I appreciate these women, and they're beautiful. But there's one that doesn't get that much attention and hasn't been exploited in Hollywood, and that's the warrior princess. She's very honest, you know, what you see is what you get. And she will stand her ground and has lots of integrity. And, you know, the majority of the time, you know, I do these really tough roles that seem very masculine, but that's only due to the lack of creativity in the 95% of writers in Hollywood, which are men who are usually married and don't know any interesting action, you know, active, you know, cool girls. They don't know them. So, you know, the majority of the time you see me playing really masculine type roles, but in reality, you know, I think that warrior princess can be beautiful, she can be sexy, but until people respect her and until she's a common thing in Hollywood, I'm going to have to keep being this macho girl, you know. So that's where I stand right now.
Salve, Mauro Antonini, Segno Cinema per il signor Diesel. Io quando penso alla sua carriera mi vengono in mente tre icone fondamentali che sono i miei personaggi favoriti: Riddick, Dom Toretto chiaramente e Xander Cage. Volevo chiedere, visto che due di questi personaggi sono stati